And we are live. Hi guys, 5 people in already. Oh, you've been waiting. Cheers for waiting and thanks for being in early. How is everyone? Hope everyone's getting ready for Christmas. That's basically what I've been doing. Today's a bit of a Christmas special, so I thought I'd put the Christmas jumper on. First time I've worn it this year so far. I hope everyone's getting ready for Christmas. UK Security 101, have no fear, Scouse is here. So make sure that you've done the wheel nuts up on your car, because otherwise your tyres get nicked. How are you, mate? I'm good. I'm very good, actually. It's been a bit of a short week. So I've only worked 2 days this week because I had some holiday to take. So I had Sunday off, and I've got Thursday off as well. So tomorrow I'll go to the airport to pick up the now fiance, pick up her parents from the airport. For some of you that probably don't know, I got engaged not Sunday, the Sunday before. Popped the question and got a positive answer. So I've got to pick up her parents tomorrow from the airport, pick up her brother and his new girlfriend on Friday from the airport. So I've had to take Thursday off, obviously just to sort all that stuff out. It's been a short week. It's been a cold week. Last night was so cold. I think it was about -4 where I was. It's been a bit of a testing night, but got through it. Managed to record a video that I wanted to record that we're going out Christmas Day, and basically that's just going to be looking at me as a dog handler over sort of the last year, giving like my feedback on some of the things that I'm proud of that I've done as a dog handler over the past year. Putting in a negative of something that I could have done better, and different things like that. So that'll be the video out on Christmas Day. It's a decent video, and then New Year's Day, I think it'll be the Saturday, won't it? That will be 1 day short of me being a year on YouTube doing security dog handling. So I think my first video, which was from Pet Protection, I released that on January 2nd of this year. So let's say the New Year's Day video, I'll be looking back on my YouTube journey through dog handling. So obviously I've got me as a dog handler over the year, how I've progressed. But then there's also the YouTube side. So starting off from me just doing a video, walking around my field, telling a story of my pet becoming a protection dog, to where we are now with obviously the lives, the bit of the community that we've got, the bi-weekly meetup that we do with these lives, and just how that's evolved and what I expected. I'm going to talk about what I expected this YouTube to be like, and just sort of go through some of my favorite videos, go through some of the I can't say it, statistics. I still can't say it. I'll go through some of them so you can kind of see how the channel's grown, and then maybe put some plans out for next year as well. So, it's been a good week. Let me just go through some of these because I see some of the some messages I've been missing. I've lost hope. Hi, buddy. I've lost hope. I believe you used to be Morning Soon, so you're not new. I believe you was Morning Soon. Looking on some of the comments where the name has changed. Sean Barlett, evening, mate. I've lost hope. Crying face. I believe that was when I was talking about the Scouse and nicking your wheels. Part-timer, part-timer, but that's only because I managed to save some holiday throughout the year in order to give myself a nice little Christmas off. We don't get to meet our family often. We normally see them in the summer for like a bit of a holiday, but then we mainly see them at Christmas as well. So it's nice that I can save some holiday in order to have a bit of family time, because as a lot of you probably know, doing this kind of work and working nights, and obviously she Ada works days. We don't get to see a lot of each other. We see each other Saturday and most of Sunday, and then when I go to work on Sunday at like 6 o'clock, I don't see her again until probably like 6, 7 o'clock on a Wednesday. So yeah, it's nice that I can take some time off, and obviously to spend some time with her family as well. I'm only going to be working the bank holiday, basically, which is like the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday nights, just because they're double pay, and I don't really feel like there's no point in me taking that off as holiday when I'll be getting single pay when I can work it and get double pay. It doesn't make sense. So yeah, I'm just going to be working the double pay nights, which is nice, and that's a little Christmas bonus to us as well. Danny Rolfe, morning. Hi mate, how you doing? Chip King, bad luck. Danny Rolfe, congratulations. Thank you very much. Check you out, living the dream. Oh, congratulations on the engagement. Thank you. I've lost hope. Better ask her dad first. Now, I did ask her dad first, and so I had to. So for the guys, the people that don't know, Ada is Bulgarian, and my Bulgarian is very ropey. So I had to ask her dad with her brother on the line in like a three-way FaceTime, and basically her brother was a sort of translator, and as far as I'm aware, he put over what I said, and he was happy, but I knew he would be anyway. Congratulations, thank you. You are a good dog handler. Stop judging yourself. I've seen you at training, and you are good, and the dog is good. Yeah, I think, because like I say, the video is going to come out Christmas Day. Looking back over the year, obviously, just the inexperience. I'm very proud of what I've done, how I am as a dog handler. I'm proud of what I've kind of the image that I give out. I think it's a positive image to dog handlers. And yeah, like I say, I know I'm a decent dog handler. I'm never going to say I'm the best dog handler, but I feel like I'm a decent dog handler that gives everything that they can. I don't half-ass anything that I really do. But yeah, you guys can watch the video on Saturday, and you can have some views on it as well. But thank you for saying that about me at training, etc. Sam Jack, evening mate. Congratulations from Porsche Canine. Thank you. Sam Jack, is your dog GSD working line? So no, mine's a purebred German Shepherd. As far as I'm aware, it was just a lady that had a pet and decided to breed. So it's a pure line German Shepherd. It's not working line. I've gone over this before on sort of other lives and that, and I think the next time I get a puppy or whatever it is, I will go down the working line route. Just because, as far as I'm aware, I'm not someone that knows lots about breeding. But from what I understand is that a lot of what we need is already in the working line. You just have to kind of bring it out and bring it on. So yeah, probably next time I'll look at sort of working line. But yeah, mine's just a pedigree German Shepherd that was bought as a pet, where pet protection comes from. He was just bought as a pet, and he was for 14 months before we started this journey to where we are now. And like I say, I think 17th of December, so like last Friday or whatever it was, that was 1 year qualified for me and him. So yeah, like I say, that was our journey. UK Security One. Now, Michael, you need to remember in this video, don't assume someone's gender. Yeah, I won't be assuming someone's gender. We won't go through that again. I learned my lesson from last time. We're our own worst critic, and that's not a bad thing just because you strive to be better. Yeah, no, we are our own worst critics, and I think because a lot of the time in this job you work on your own or you work just with your dog. You're the only one that sees you in a working environment. Now, obviously, you have maybe the site manager on site that sees you all the time, but you, between the hours of, like, let's say 9 p.m. to 6 a.m., you're the only one that sees you in a working environment. So yeah, you will be your own worst critic because you'll see the little mistakes or the little things that happen on site, just silly little things, nothing major, like just little silly things you do and you think, oh, that wasn't great. Or like when the dog's acting up a little bit and it's like 4 o'clock in the morning and the dog's acting up and you're like, oh my God, like you're your own worst critic because you're the only one that's there. You're the only one that sees that kind of stuff. So obviously when it's training and things like that, your dog's always behaving, things like that, and you're obviously a bit more awake because it's like daytime, etc. But yeah, you will be your own worst critic just because it's lone working and you're the only one that sees the nightmare you're having at 4 o'clock in the morning when you're feeling quite tired and you're mixing your hands up with the lead, etc., and all that palaver. Lines don't mean much really. It's what you put in. Yeah, I've seen things about that as well. As in terms of working lines and things like that, you can get working lines that the dog just doesn't come out the way it's meant to, and you can get dogs like mine who, for most of what you would expect, wouldn't be what you'd want for this job. But if you put in the effort, you put in the time, a lot of it is, let's say a lot of it is luck that the dog is willing to do it, and the way that maybe you've brought it up as a pet and you've allowed it to be a bit of a rebel. A little bit of luck that maybe the dog actually does want to do it, because at the end of the day, if the dog's not got it in them, it's going to be hard to get it. Now, you could want me to be a rugby player. You could want me to play whatever position, fly half in rugby. I don't really know rugby, so I don't know why I'm saying this. But you could want me to play fly half in rugby, but inside me, I just don't have it to get a ball and run into 3 18-stone blokes who are going to try and smash me to the floor. I just don't have that in me. So it's fine saying that. It's fine saying that you want your dog to be a working dog, but if the dog hasn't got it in him to go charging in and to protect you in dangerous situations, then there's not that much you can really do about it. There was a guy at training who had a German Shepherd, and he worked, as far as I know, he worked tirelessly to try and get this dog to pass his NASDU, and the trainer was saying to him, look, I can't pass this dog, and for all intents and purposes on the patrol was good, obedience was good. When they got a sleeve out, the dog would have a bite of the sleeve, but if the trainer come at it with like a whopping stick or a weapon, the dog would just hide behind him. So it's just one of them where you just sometimes the dog just doesn't have it in it. It doesn't have the bottle to do the job, the same way I don't have the bottle to go and play rugby. So Chip King, I'll go training with you. I've got Canine Shadow. I know who you are. How are you doing? How's everything with you? I haven't seen you at training for quite a while. Is everything going well? I've lost hope. I've tried many pet dogs. I've trained many pet dogs into security and have been great. Yeah, I feel like the way that in which my journey went from pet to protection, I feel that's where I got the balance. I'm not saying that working line dogs are unbalanced, but I feel that's where the balance of my dog has come from. Having the dog as a pet for so long before turning it into protection, just that pet environments, having that pet environment where you teach the dog to love everyone and be nice to everyone that comes in. I mean, my dog was still a bit of an arse. He was still very protective of the door, the premises, etc. But I could bring people in and he'd be perfectly fine and he'd play ball and things like that. Very similar to what he is like now, to be honest. But I feel like that pet experience and the way he was brought up is why I've got the balance that I've got. I don't know, I can't talk for every handler, but if working line dogs aren't brought up that way and they're kind of thrown straight into training, maybe that's sometimes where you get the unbalanced dogs where they don't have the experience of being friendly to people and mingling and learning to be a dog. For 95% of your job as a security dog handler, you want your dog to be a pet. Basically, it's that 5% that is the most important part, and the 5% which is the most which is the situations you get into with someone that doesn't want to be nice. So for 95% of your working life, you want your dog to be a pet, but at the end of the day, you need that 5% of complete lunacy that will help you out in bad situations. Not just luck, it's someone with the experience and knowledge. Yeah, bollocks in my experience. So yeah, bottle bollocks, just someone that has the nuts to stand there and just say, come at me, because whatever happens, I'm going to put some holes in you, whatever it is. That's the way in which the dog. That's the thing is that I've set my perimeter. If you went to my perimeter, then I'm going to put some holes in. So, Chip King, I've caught 3 burglars breaking into a house near where I live today with Shadow. Well, that's good. Well done. In terms of, was that just in terms of standoff? Was that just to contain them until someone turned up? I'm assuming that maybe that's not a live bite. I assume that's probably either containment or a standoff until maybe the police turned up. UK Security 101, with security dogs, they've got to be 50% pet, 50% working dog. It's a very fine balance. Yeah. And if going back to say my last video, like the routine video, as you saw with that video, we done like the patrol, and I've done the patrol with my dog, and then the trainer gave the dog the ball to sort of end the patrol. And you can see with me afterwards, I can unclip my dog and I can throw the ball, and my dog would just switch off to that patrol side, and he's like, right, we're playing ball now. Like, my dog switches from that side to, okay, right, now we're playing ball. And you saw it now, I can throw the ball and he can sort of roam around with the trainer and the trainee trainer next to me, and we can just play ball and just ignore them people. I'm not saying that I can't switch him back on. If I needed to, I could, in a word, get him into a standoff situation straight away. So don't be fooled in thinking that, because I've seen someone say this before, like at the end of the patrol, my trainer throws him the ball and my dog gets the ball and he comes back to me, he switches off, and someone said, well, that's no good because he just throws the ball and then your dog runs off. It's not that. In the way in which we train patrol, my dog has been used to, when he gets that ball, he comes back to me and we have a play. Now, on a word, I can easily get him to drop the ball or I can easily get him to switch back on and turn around and look at that person. It's just because in the video he gets it and he comes back to me and we play. Don't ever for a second think that he's switched off, or I can't switch him back to having eyes back on that person. And then obviously we've done the obedience, which is his normal, and then the protection work that we've done. Now that's where you see 50% pet, 50% protection, where we was just walking through and my trainer's up against the fence and I can see he's hiding the sleeve and the whopping stick, so he's not a threat. He makes a noise and produces the sleeve, to which my dog switches onto and starts the standoff. Then the trainer charges at me and the dog. I shout, hold, the dog holds, and then he's holding on. And then this is where the 50% pet, 50% protection comes in. Outed the dog, got him to lay down in front of me. And all my dog is then doing is just watching him. He's just looking at him, just making sure, see what's going on. As soon as he picks the weapon back up, dog switches back. He switches from pet, which is in the down position. I don't need to bite. I just need to see what's going on. Switching from the pet back into, right, I need to bite you if you get within a certain distance. Trainer charged. As the trainer charged, back onto the sleeve, holding, and then obviously the trainer goes to sleep. So yeah, it is 50% pet, 50% working line. But like I say, for 95% of your working life with the dog, you want your dog to be kind of pet. And then, like I say, for that 5% of his working life, that's when the protection side needs to come in for situations, things like that. Right, let's go back. Oh, what is going on? Right, where was we? I love a pet dog because they understand that not everyone is a threat. Then train them for personal protection dogs and add the bits in you need, the bits on you need. Yeah, that's basically what I was saying, wasn't it? It's it was deterrent and standoff, 3 police vehicles, and including a police van turned up. They were trying to break into houses to get Christmas presents. Yeah, it's that time of year. So I used to work for my dad, who had a security systems company, and it's always this time of year that, like you say, they see the Christmas trees in the window and they want to jump in. I did mention that to Ada about it, because we're ground floor flat, about the Christmas tree, keeping curtains shut, making sure if you're not in, you leave the Christmas tree lights off. But yeah, anyone that gets within seeing my window, they see the dog anyway. So it's highly unlikely that someone's going to get in, but you never know. And obviously, if people are watching and you go out, then that's when they start to trying to break in and that. So yeah, it is a thing. Everyone knows about it by now. And like I say, it's just a case of keeping curtains shut, maybe keeping a light on, but making sure the Christmas tree lights are off if you're not in, and just keep trying to keep yourself safe. UK Security 101, Chip King, good job, mate. Wish I could have been there with you to catch the little craps. Absolutely despise burglars. Well done for stepping up to the plate. Yeah, like I say, I always find it quite interesting because the area I've moved into now, I walk my dog, especially with the job that we do. I walk my dog at such random times, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Every now and then, if like I'm coming off a night shift, maybe I'll fall asleep at midnight on the sofa, woke up at like 3 in the morning, and I'll just get the dog and we just go out for a walk. And I always find it quite interesting because, if not saying that's the case all the time, but that kind of time is where say between 2 and 5, they're the kind of times that you will possibly expect burglars to be out, because they know that more or less everyone is going to be asleep at that time, or whatever it is. So yeah, I've always, even like I say, I'm not expecting it to happen, but I'm always keeping a bit of an eye out of who's walking around my little local bit. If I'm out at 3 o'clock in the morning and there's some bloke walking around, I'm always a little bit wary. But obviously with the dog, maybe it's a good deterrent, but that's just part of our job, that sometimes you will end up being awake at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, and taking the dog out for a walk before maybe you go to bed. Treat-based training, like I said before, yeah. So has anyone got any special plans for Christmas, things like that? I'm just basically going to be at home. Obviously, we can't look too far into the future, because we know that Bojo could possibly be doing something just after Christmas. I think he's going to let us get Christmas out of the way before maybe some restrictions come in. But has anyone got any sort of plans? So I've Lost Hope is working 24s. Is that? I assume that's going to be doing a bank holiday and getting some double pay in that as well. But is anyone working Christmas Day? That's what I want to know. Is anyone working Christmas Day? And if you are, what time are you starting? Are you going to have the morning with the family or whatever it is, and starting in the evening and then going and then just carrying on? Or is anyone going to be working Christmas morning, or maybe before 6 o'clock on Christmas Day? That'd be interesting. 24th today until the 3rd. Really? Going to be bringing in the money then. Keeping the normal UK Security 101. Keeping the normal shift pattern, working Christmas Eve. Nice. Yeah. So my normal my normal shift pattern would be Boxing Day, the 2 bank holidays, and then the Thursday. So I've got the Thursday off, and then what we got then the 2nd, I think, is a Sunday. So I'll be back to normal from kind of the 2nd. I've Lost Hope bagging wage, yeah, 24s from now until the 3rd is going to be bringing in the money. But it's the right kind of time. The winter's the best time to kind of do this job, because I said to Ada about when I went from 3 days to 4 days. I said, look, I football train on a Wednesday, so I'm not going to do Wednesday. I can either do a Sunday night or I can do a Friday night. And it just made much more sense to do the Sunday night for me, because at the end of the day, what do you do on a Sunday past sort of 7 o'clock? Most of the time, you're just chilling out, getting ready for. Or most people that work 9 to 5, they're just chilling out, getting ready for the working week, aren't they? Where Friday nights, you're going to be going to the cinema, going out for a meal. It's kind of like the weekend. So yeah, now, especially when there's such little light, from sort of, what is it, about 4 o'clock now it's dark. Like, what are you doing past 4 o'clock during the week? It's normally sitting at home watching some TV, doing bits and pieces. You're not really doing much. So now's the kind of time. And I've always wondered what it would be like, whether I'll ever get to do it. I wonder what it would be like to, let's say, between October and April, you literally just work 6 days a week, 24s, whatever it is, just work your nuts off from October till April, and then you went a bit part-time during the summer where you could have some time off or whatever it was. I've always wondered how there'd obviously be a structure. You would have to work it out, and so that you over the course of the 12 months, you'd earn the wage that you want to, but where you would just in the winter just literally head down, just get as much money in as you can, and then in the summer slack it off a little bit, where you can enjoy a bit of time off, or you can go down to maybe 3 days a week or 2 days a week because you've been working 6-7 days a week in the winter. I've always wondered whether that's a possible way of working. Now, it's probably not great. I'm not saying that that's for home life, that's going to be great in the winter. But I've always wondered if I was a single guy, with nothing to really, with no dependents or whatever it is, whether I would go down that route of maybe for like I say, October to April, literally just work as much as I can, and then in the summer maybe only do like a couple of days, and then just have like really nice summers, and just literally just work my nuts off in the winter. But maybe that's not something that you could do. But I always wondered if that was something. UK Security 101. So, Michael, have you got any ideas for new videos coming in the new year? And what is your New Year's resolution? So, in terms of videos, like I say, the first video of next year is going to be like a review of my first year on YouTube, going through stats and talking about some videos. In terms of new videos, unless I feel like unless someone asks for something specific, like the review video I've done for the body cam, that video, it's one of the review videos are funny. So unless someone's looking for that product or a review of that product, you're not really going to get the views. Now, if someone asks for it, I'm not going to say no to it, because I want to help people out. And if people want a review of that, then I will. But review videos for me aren't big pull-ins, because, like I say, unless someone's looking for a review or looking for that product, they're not going to really view your video. And the video done okay. It's not done amazing, but it done the job that it needed to for the person that asked for it, which is what I was set out to do, really. So I think maybe next year I will do more sort of vlogging videos of like my life as a dog handler. I feel like a lot of the videos I've done have been like very item specific, or like they've had a purpose, but there's not really been too much of like a vlog. And maybe I'll do sort of 2 or 3 nights and vlog through 2 or 3 nights, and then condense it down to a 10-15 minute video, where you get to come away from work as much as you are at work. Because I don't want my channel to be me just when I'm on site. I want it to be about the life as a dog handler, because it's fine people watching my videos and understanding the job, but you have to understand the outside of the job as well. Even silly things like today, where it's got left off the video. So I done the video this morning, and finished it at my mum and dad's when I took the dog to run around the field to knacker him out before I come here. And then I got back here about 9ish, and then probably in bed by about 9:30 once I'd sorted everything out. And I was awake by 11 o'clock, because it was like Amazon here. Like I think the doorbell must have gone about 4 times. The dog was going garrity with like delivery after delivery after delivery. And I've ended up awake at 11 o'clock, and I'm like, I can't go back to sleep now. And that's it. So I've had to get up, get showered. I edited the video, started watching TV, then ended up falling asleep. So mate rang me at 6 o'clock saying, like, we're going to pop round later. Is that all right? So you have to kind of learn that side of it as well, is that just because you finish work at 7 or whatever it is, that doesn't mean that you can then just like switch off to life. The other day when what day is it today? Wednesday, Monday night, or no, Tuesday. Can't remember what day it was. I got back in from work, went to go to bed. It was about, I don't know, 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, probably 8 o'clock in the morning. I've just got into bed thinking, right, I'll just fall asleep. Got to be up at 2. And outside my place, they started the chainsaws where they was cutting down some trees, trimming some trees, started the chainsaws up. That's the kind of side that you need to understand, that just because you're at work, once you go away from work, because you're sleeping during the day, it's not always as easy as like, right, I'll just go sleep for these 6 hours. You're going to have someone cutting down a tree. You're going to have the doorbell going every 5 minutes because there's deliveries, or like with me, there's deliveries because there's like 3 apartments. If they can't get hold of the apartment that they need to, they'll ring me to let them in so they can just leave it inside the door. So it's not as easy as just like switching off from work and like, oh, I'm done now, I'll just go and sleep. There's a lot more to the job than just being on site. So yeah, maybe doing some more vlog kind of videos of like a few days rather than like the 24 hours video that I've done. Maybe doing that maybe over like a couple of days or whatever. It'd be obviously much nicer in the summer when there's more daylight. But as you'll see from my video this week, there is some floodlights on my site now, so I can actually do a little bit of filming in some certain areas where the floodlights are. So yeah, maybe doing something like that. And the New Year's resolution, I always find New Year's resolutions a little bit not silly, but you never stick to them. So if I'd say my New Year's resolution is just to continue doing my YouTube, committing to training, making myself better as a handler, making the dog better. But yeah, just committing to what I'm doing now, and making sure that I don't lose interest, or I don't start defaulting on see if she does this. It's going well. Yeah, he's realised it's my mate now. So yeah, it's more just committing to what I'm doing and making sure that I don't lose interest, or that I don't start slacking and missing weeks with videos. I've been pretty good this year. So once my video comes out on Saturday, on Christmas Day, that will be my 50th dog handling video of the year. As well as this is our 10th live, so 60 videos in the year. I feel like it was a good effort. It's more or less one a week. Obviously missed a couple of weeks here and there, but I feel like if I can get 50 videos out a year, plus lives, I feel like that's a decent effort. So just making sure that I don't slack on that. And like I say, yeah, I feel like that'd be my New Year's resolution, rather than like not going to drink as much. I don't really drink, but like not drinking as much, or I'm going to go to the gym, or I'm going to eat healthier. It's not. I'm not going to set anything like that. It's more going to be just making sure I commit to carrying on. Got to train this new dog, so no time wasted. Oh, that's good then. If you're working 24s for that amount of time, you can put a lot of effort into. I'm just trying to sort the dog out now. There we go. Yeah, if you've got 24-hour shifts and you can put your time into doing that, then that's obviously great. I really enjoyed when I first started having the time just to do some training with a dog, whether that's just getting his toy out and playing some tug or whatever it was. It's no time wasted. So get my spare cash or cryptos at the moment as it's a bull run. I'm not into all this crypto stuff. So yeah, I don't know exactly what that means, but Chip King, last time I went to cinema, Jack Black was in King Kong. That was a while ago. I actually, when was the last time I went to cinema? I went and watched the new James Bond. Was the last time I went to cinema. And the time before that, well, obviously pre COVID, so probably like 2019 at some point. I probably would have thought. Chip King only worked part time. Well, I've always said with this job is that if you just need to work out what it is, how much you need to earn a year, or whatever it is. That you just need to work out how much you need to earn a year, and if it's a case that you only need to work 3 days a week to earn the money that you need to, then that's great. There obviously are people that want to earn as much money as they can, as quickly as they can, that's absolutely fine. Everyone has their own way, but I always look at it as like, right, I just need to earn this amount of money. How do I need to go about that? No, Chip, you work 12s, but don't get home normally. Your dog just set my bitch off. So yeah, that's the normal front. That's the normal front door. Whether you could hear that or not, really, he's oh, cheers, mate. Whether you could hear that. So he obviously kicks off at the door, and then when girlfriend opens the door, you could hear the change in the bark. But then once he realised it was my mate, he calmed himself down. But yeah, that's the whole front door thing. I did do a doorbell video where we kind of calmed that down, and it can be done, but that's the way I like it, because at the end of the day, if my girlfriend opens the door to someone and she doesn't know who it is, I don't want that person to feel like they can force entry. Like, there is absolutely no way, in my mind, there's absolutely no way someone would think about trying to barge through my dog to get into the house. So that's the way in which I like it. Different people want different things. I've always said about this is that you always train your dog to how you want it to be. So my dog jumps up at me, and I'm okay with it. Sometimes it's not great. I understand that, and sometimes I push him off, etc. But I don't mind it. So therefore, my dog does do it. But what I've found hard is that doing sort of the protection work and things like that, and the dog jumping up to do the protection work and things like that, allowing him to do it in certain situations and allowing him not to do it in other situations. In the home, I don't let him do it. At work, I let him do it because we'll have a bit of a play. And obviously, if you're playing with your dog, sometimes they jump up and you have a bit of a wrestle whilst they're standing up, etc. But yeah, like I say, you're always going to train the dog to how you want him to be. And that sort of front door stuff, I don't mind, because at the end of the day, like I say, if my dog stops someone from thinking that they can force entry into the house, all the better. Chip King, Michael, are you on TikTok? I am not on TikTok. I don't understand TikTok. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. Not really on Twitter anymore. I only use Twitter for fantasy football updates. Yeah, I don't understand TikTok, to be honest. So I don't think I'm going to. I know some people that have got on it and they've got reasonably big with a TikTok of them and their security dog, and they've got some products because they've got quite big on TikTok and that. But it's not something that I'm interested in. I know that they're cool little videos, but It's not really something I'm interested in. I'm definitely not going to be dancing with my dog, that's for sure. I've seen someone doing that. I'm not dancing with my dog. Danny Rolfe, what sort of training do you do with your dog while on site? So while on site, I actually left it out the video this week, or like last night. So there's certain little bits. So I'll get the bite bar out and we'll have a play with a bite bar. Obviously we'll do some obedience, but obedience is more if he starts taking a piss whilst we're patrolling, I'll check him back into doing some obedience. At the moment, I always let my dog walk in front because at the end of the day, I want my dog to approach whatever it is first, and then allow me to step back, or allow me to be pre-warned about what's coming up. So yeah, I'll say obedience with my dog is most of the time I'll let him walk out in front, as long as he's not dragging me around the place. I'll let him walk out in front, and then it's a case if he starts taking a piss, checking him back into obedience. There are some little videos that I can do. So one of the things that I did work on is about dropping the lead and what happens when I drop the lead. So the way in which I have it now is if I drop the lead, my dog turns around and comes back to me. Now, I've not proven this in terms of there being someone in front of me or whatever it is, but if I drop the lead of my dog comes back to me, and that's kind of obedience, I suppose. But there's two different reasons that I've done it. I've done that for. So the first reason was if the dog caught me unawares and pulled the lead out of my hand, hopefully the lead being loose on him should trigger into his mind that he should come back to me. So even if he's not, hopefully that lead will break the concentration enough that I'll be able to emergency call him back. And the second one is a kind of like safety, I suppose. So let's, for argument's sake, I'm walking through sight, and somehow, without the dog noticing, someone comes up and grabs me from behind, and they put their hand over my mouth so I can't shout. If I can drop that lead and the dog can turn around, now I know loose dog, etc., and things like that. But if I can drop the lead and the dog automatically turn around, I don't need to use my mouth to call the dog or whatever it is. So it's kind of like hopefully being able to stop my dog if he got loose, and also maybe if I got, like I say, if I was restrained from, if someone snuck up behind and put their hand over my mouth and I couldn't say anything to the dog, being able to drop the lead and get the dog's attention that something's happening. It's done something like that. In the cabin, sometimes I can do a video on it. Sometimes I get like his treats and I hide them, and I make him search for the treats in the cabin, just to get him used to, or carrying on kind of like scent training. So he has to search for his treats with his nose. And I feel like that's a good one for people to do, because what you'll find is that when your dog's searching for the treat, you will learn about when your dog's sniffing for an item and when they're close to it. So you'll hear them where they'll just be sniffing, and then all of a sudden the sniffing will get a lot quicker, a lot more intense. And I think that's where you learn to read your dog about when your dog is close to something that is going to be like an item search. So let's say it's article search. You will learn to read your dog about when your dog's sniffing, trying to find the scent, to when he's getting closer to it, when the sniffing gets more intense and a lot quicker. Or let's say that there's someone out in the site, and you see your dog starts sniffing in the air, and you're like, okay. So you read that, you're like, right, he's smelt something. And then as he's getting closer, you hear the sniffing getting quicker, getting more intense. And you're like, right, I'm getting a little bit closer to wherever this person is now. So now I should start shouting challenges. So yeah, sometimes just doing that sort of stuff, you learn to read your dog about how close you are to what the dog is sniffing, and then just bits of play and things like that. So I'll say I do a lot of obviously my stuff at training, but just certain little things like that is something that I'll do at training just to keep the dog entertained, keep the dog focused, and make sure that the dog's not getting bored as well. Because as a lot of you may know handlers that might do it, or you think you might know handlers that may do it. You go on a 12-hour shift, dog gets out for 10 minutes every hour, and the rest of the time, 50 minutes, it's just sitting in the van, sitting in its cage, waiting until the next 10 minutes it gets to go out. So just doing little things and little bits and pieces like that just keeps the dog entertained, keeps the dog switched on, make sure it doesn't get lazy or whatever it is. But yeah, there's just maybe a couple of bits and pieces that I do personally. So if that's how you like your dog, why do you want something else, like meaning working lines, when you have done fantastic job with him? That is a good question, isn't it? So I'll tell you about how happy I am with my dog, and then I'll say with my next one I want to do something different. I don't know. I've maybe, yeah, I understand what you mean now, and maybe that's someone saying that has made me think about it. But I think because I feel like I've got maybe brought into the trap of other people having working line, and it being a lot easier to get their dogs into the industry or whatever it is now. Maybe I've fallen into that trap of it maybe being a bit easier. I'm not saying I want the easy way out, but maybe having a working line would maybe be easier. But yeah, that's a valid point. If I've done such a good job with this one, but then the next pet line may not be what my dog is now, but then maybe it is how I brought him up from 8 weeks. So that's a good point. Oh, sorry, but the light I've got behind this laptop's flickering a little bit. Just give me a sec because it's making me go a bit funny. Oh, Jesus. Right, sorry. Next, Sean. The most daunting thing for me is starting to train the dog. I've trained my pet dogs, but that's completely different ball game. Security dogs, I wouldn't know where to start. And I think that's why you have to go to a trainer. And I think that's, at the moment, that's why I don't really do training videos, because I don't want people to get caught up in thinking that they can just come to my channel or go to a YouTube channel and learn how to train a dog. It's not that easy. Not every dog is the same. The dog that's on YouTube that someone's shown you how to train is completely different to your dog, and it's a different line. Maybe it's a different line. It's a completely different dog, and they won't be able to tell you when you're not doing it right. So that's probably one of the reasons why I haven't really done sort of training videos, is because it's not really going to benefit you. And the worst thing is that, I don't know, some idiot who is just a civilian and thinks, you know what, I might try and do that with my dog, and before you know it, through my YouTube channel, some idiots watched a video and now has got this out of control dog, and then they go down the park, let it loose, and something really bad happens. And then when they're questioned by the police, they go to the police and say, oh yeah, there was this video on YouTube I watched. He made it look really simple with his dog that he's trained and things like that. So yeah, the best thing you can always do is just go to a trainer and do it that way. Do it properly, and do it properly first. Don't try and do it yourself and then mess it up, because at the end of the day, you could mess the dog up and then it not be able to. There's certain ways. People have said like you can ruin a dog, where you can have a really good dog and then you can just ruin it through doing something stupid with your training or whatever it is, and then the dog's never going to reach the potential it would have if you had just done it correctly the whole way through. So yeah, that's my advice. Just to from the start, go to a trainer and do it properly, and just go and only do what they tell you to do. So when I was doing my training, I would only ever do whatever it is that my trainer showed me and we've done at training. I wouldn't go online, find something that's different and go, oh, maybe I'll try that because I can do this, I must be able to do that now. It doesn't work that way. And like I say, you can mess your dog up very easily by trying to do something that you haven't been taught to do, or there's someone to stand there and say, no, you're doing that wrong, don't do that. Pet trainers will say, don't let dog walk in front because it's a dominance thing. But when you train for detection, then that changes. Yeah, so I've said this, I think this is in my teamwork video. So me and the dog are a team. So I'm there to make decisions. The dog doesn't make decisions. He makes some decisions. If the dog sees something threatening that I don't see, then he'll make a decision. Basically, I'm there to make decisions. I'm there to control the situation. The dog is there to get me into that, to get me to that point. So in terms of patrol, the dog is more or less in control. So I mean, if he's going to start walking off site, then obviously I'm not going to let him do that. But in terms of the patrol, the dog is in charge because he's the one with the nose. He's the one that can see, hear, smell much better than you can on a patrol. So what's the point in me telling him where to patrol when from 100 yards my dog can tell me that there's someone there, when from 10 yards I don't even know they're there. So in terms of letting the dog walk in front of you on a patrol, yes, let them walk in front of you because they're in charge of that patrol. You'll have obviously a route that you want to do or whatever it is, but in terms of the patrol, the dog is in charge because at the end of the day, they're the one that is going to be able to detect people from a far greater distance than you are, and get you to the location of where that person is. There's no point in the dog walking right next to you if you're never going to get to where it is. And if you get to that certain location, you want the dog to be there first. You don't want someone to be able to get to you without having to go through the dog. So yeah, like I say, pet trainers, they think it's dominance, but at the end of the day, when you're patrolling, the dog's in charge anyway. The dog's is in control of that patrol. So they should be the dominant one on that. Sean, get the right training. Yeah. You've done a great job. He's great. Thank you. So the training wouldn't train during the puppy stage, just train it like a pet at first. Sorry, silly question, completely green to dog handling. Yeah, so I've seen people turn up with puppies to training, and it is just about obedience. The most important thing is that with puppies and that, let the puppy be a puppy. Let the puppy do puppy things. It's going to make mistakes. It's going to go through the biting stage, whatever it is. But let the puppy be a puppy, because you want that dog to be okay with people. You want your dog to be like a normal dog. So if you shelter it from outside people or outside influences, cars or whatever it is, when that dog grows up, it's not going to learn to trust other people. And like I say, for 95% of the dog's work in life, it's going to want to trust whoever it comes across. It's that 5% that you're going to want it not to trust. So yeah, it's just going to be like bringing it up as a pet, doing like puppy training, whatever it is, doing training, but bringing out maybe from an early age, like the patrol. So maybe not from a big distance to start off with, but teaching the dog to sort of trace or track someone. And then when maybe someone, when you find that person, getting the person to maybe start hiding or come jumping out, and then when the dog barks, jumping and running back in. So the puppy gets a bit of confidence. It's like, oh, I did that. When I barked, I made him run away. And that's how you kind of get the sort of the standoff barking. Is that you teach the dog that if he barks, that person will go away, and the dog thinks, "Oh, I did that." Okay, so whenever I get here, if I don't want you to be there, or he tells me to watch you, if I start barking, you're going to run off, and I'm going to do the job. And then when I go back, I'm going to be told I'm a really good boy. I'm going to get my treat. I might get my ball. So yeah, just doing little bits of that. But like I say, when it's young. When it's young, just let the puppy be a puppy. Let it do puppy things. Take it to like puppy classes, because then it gets to mingle with other dogs as well. And I think that was quite an important thing for me and my dog when he was a puppy, is that we let him interact with other dogs. And he was the first class he went to. He got a little bit bullied, and then as we started going through, he started getting his confidence of being able to mingle with dogs. Mind you, the two dogs that were at the first class, I say bullied, they was just a bit bigger than him, and he wasn't quite sure. But he learned to deal with them, and he learned to play with them. And then by the time we then went to German Shepherd Club, which was before security training, this German Shepherd Club, he was brazen as you like. He would play with any dog that was there or whatever it was. A couple of them were dangerous. One of them was a bit of a dangerous dog, but he learned to play with bigger dogs and whatever it was, and learned how to do that. So, and that's where you get the confidence for the dog to stand up to people that are bigger than him. Is the dog learns to play with dogs that are bigger than them when they're a puppy, learn how to play with them, and then, like I say, after that, gets a bit of confidence, and then you're away. Don't fall into it, because longer route than experience is lost. True. Yeah, and I feel like that's one of the biggest things that I've kind of learned through this last year, is that I've learned how to train a dog. And your first dog, I mean, a lot of you may agree with this, is that your first security dog is not going to be your best dog. So you're going to make mistakes with your first dog. I've made mistakes with my first dog, and I'll make mistakes with my second dog. But what you try to do is, through every dog, is you try to not make that mistake again. And then to a certain part, you would kind of iron out a lot of the mistakes you've made with the previous dog. So yeah, but like I said, I've said before that the trainers train you how to train your dog. The trainer is not training your dog. So through the whole year or year and a half, I've just learned how to train a dog, and I've learned through different bits how to train different. I've learned how to train the bark on command. I've learned how to train the standoff. So in my next dog, from a puppy, because I know my next dog is going to do this job, from a puppy, I can start the training early rather than starting it at 14 months, like I did this time. So I think that's true. That if you don't take the long route, then maybe you do lose a bit of the experience in actually training a dog. And that's why, as my first dog, I'd never buy a trained dog as my first dog, because you completely lose any training, and you don't learn how to train a dog. And I feel like that's really important information that you probably need to have. So get a trainer that explains every step through what your dog and why the dog is reacting the way the way it is, because it's training you to train your dog. That's literally what I just said, wasn't it? I didn't actually see that. One of the 5 freedoms: let a dog be a dog. So yeah, that's one of the 5 freedoms. I can't quote it word for word, but it should be able to spend time with its own kind. But remember, with the 5 freedoms, especially that one. So after the dog has been with you and been around your family for a certain period, he believes that you are one of its own kind. So it's just spending time with you is the same as spending time with a dog, as long as you're playing with it, as long as you're just not sitting there watching the TV. But spending time playing with you is the same as the dog going to the dog park and playing with a dog in the park. As long as he's playing with someone that he believes is the same as him, that is part of the freedom. Dangerous dog ? Maybe I've missed. Maybe that was something that I was saying earlier. Mistakes make the perfect dog. Mistakes make the perfect dog. Yeah, every dog has its flaw, and every dog has its little thing. Do NASDO have a list of accredited trainers on their website? Yes. So if you go onto the NASDO website and then go into whatever it was, I'll quickly do it because it'll only take me 2 seconds. So if you go on the NASDO website, and then if you go on security guarding dogs, if you click on there, come on, and then there's a little in the top right. There's like a menu. So if you then go to if you click on that and go to training, the second one down, current approved instructors, and then on the current approved instructors, it is. Oh, sorry, I don't know why I was doing that. It is then listed into. God, not going to be able to see that either. It's basically listed into areas. So there's East, Southeast, East Midlands, and like I say, there's all the trainers there that you'll be able to do. That you can contact. Some a GP level 2, 3. Some are drug and explosive detection, which obviously you don't want that side of it. But yeah, you'll need a GP, general purpose level 2 trainer. Don't trust all accredited NASDO trainers, believe me. Yeah, like don't trust all of them. I mean, my trainer, the first session that you go to is free, and basically it's for you to go down there for my trainer to assess you, to make sure that you are a sensible person, and also to assess the dog, see what the dog's at, but also for you to meet him, have a session with him, and see if you like the way that he trains. It's not always going to be that every handler likes the same trainer. There are certain handlers that may not like my trainer, but there are lots of handlers that do like my trainer. So I'd say the best thing to do. Where are you? Okay, bud. Any advice to find a good trainer or so? Word of mouth. I'm in West Sussex, so don't know if anyone can make a recommendation. I can't. So I can only speak for the trainer I do, and my trainer's in Kent, by Maidstone in Kent, which may be a little far for you. I don't know whether it is. I can only speak for him because he's the only trainer that I've dealt with. So, but if there is anyone that around the West Sussex area that can maybe say about a trainer, then obviously Sean would probably really appreciate that. So on my just going to go and do some housekeeping. So on my Christmas video where I gave you kind of like 10 gift ideas for Christmas, I did put a kind of a giveaway on there, and in that giveaway was for like a £10 Amazon voucher which in one of the lives I did change to, you can either have a £10 Amazon voucher or an hour's Zoom call with me. So I've got a list here of the comments. So people just had to go on there and say why they subscribe to my YouTube channel, etc. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So could someone just give me 3 numbers between 1 and 6, if that's possible, and you can kind of do the draw for the 3 people that are going to win. So 3 numbers between 1 and 6. The first different 3 numbers that come up, I'll use them. Three, 4, and 6. Right, so what have I done? So 1, 2, 3. So the first one is Tom Bailey. So Tom Bailey, you can either have a £10 Amazon voucher or you can have an hour's Zoom call with me. You've got me on Instagram, so just contact me, or I'll contact you, and we'll go through and organise a Zoom call or the Amazon voucher, whichever one you want. So what was the next one? 4. So the second one is Porsche K9, which is going to be an awkward. That is going to be an awkward Zoom call if you want it. So Porsche K9, you can either have a £10 Amazon voucher or you can have an hour's Zoom call with me where we just hang out. So you've got me on Instagram as well. I saw you follow me the other day. So just contact me on there, and we'll do that. And what was the other one? 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the last one, this isn't a stitch up. So the last one is UK Security 101. So UK Security 101, you're not having a £10 Amazon voucher. So we're going to have an hour Zoom call, and we'll film it. And the other guys, Tom and Portia, if you want me to film the Zoom call, we can always put it up on YouTube as well. And basically, it's just going to be us hanging out, and like I say, you can just have a chat with me about anything to do with dog handling or whatever it is. Thanks for everyone that entered that. I should have thought about doing a Zoom call earlier, but so that's Tom Bailey, Porsche K9, UK Security 101. Contact me on Instagram, because I know you've all got me on there. Okay, UK Security 101. That makes sense. So UK Security 101 said 1, 6, and 4. So number 1 is Sean Bartlett. So Sean Bartlett, UK Security 101 has surrendered his win to you. So Sean, have you got me on Instagram or whatever it is? Sean, you can either have a £10 Amazon voucher, or you can have an hour's Zoom call with me where we just hang out, and you can ask me all these types of questions regarding the NASDO trainers, etc. So if you can contact me or let me know, my email is michael.wakley-smith@gmail.com. You can email me as well if you don't have social media. You can email me and let me know, and we'll sort out a Zoom call if you want, and we'll go through any of the sort of stuff that you need to. But yeah, so that's Tom Bailey, Porsche K9, and Sean Bartlett. Then you 3 guys just contact me, and you're the giveaway winners. Thanks for everyone that did enter. I appreciate all the messages on there. I mean, I wasn't asking for praise for why you follow why you subscribe to my YouTube channel. But I just thought it would be nice just to see if there's certain areas of why you like it, or to make sure that I'm giving like the best content. So that is an hour, coming up to an hour and 15 minutes, guys. I'm going to leave it there. It's been another good chat. I feel like we've got through some good stuff. We had some really good talks in there. Want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas. Make sure you look after your families over Christmas. Make sure you spend enough time with them, and yeah, hopefully you get what you want for Christmas, and have a good New Year as well. So the first live back will be after New Year. But yeah, like everyone, just look after yourselves and just make sure, especially with the Omicron going around, make sure you keep everyone safe. Make sure you're doing all the right things. And I'll speak to you all. I'll speak to you all very soon. And like I say, Merry Christmas. Have a happy New Year. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon. See you later. Bye.